What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Saturday, November 30th, 2024. It is the last Saturday of the month, and we are back with another live here on the Torian Rain Reloaded channel. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And if you are new to the channel, I'm glad that you were here. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, everybody on the other social media platforms. I'm glad that you are here. So, as you can see by the title, it says Sound Off Saturday #1. So this is something new that I implemented. It's something I just kind of came up with maybe about a month ago, and I said I'll launch it at the end of November. It works sort of like Freestyle Friday, but it's a little bit different in the sense that I'm gonna let people come up and sound off on anything that they want. But if y'all looked at the post that I made on my community tab, there is a 2 sound off limit. So that means you will only have opportunity to go off on 2 things. We're not going to spend up going up here going through your whole the whole laundry list of people or things you're mad at. Save some for the next time. But it's going to be a 2 sound off limit per person. And I have the StreamYard link pinned at the top. That way I won't have to keep posting it as time goes on. I'll probably keep this going for about an hour, because I feel like that's all we'll need. I'll probably give my sound off at the end, let everybody else get theirs off. Probably up until about 12:50, and I'll go off on what I have to go off at the end. And I already have mine lined up. I wouldn't be surprised if someone comes up here and actually has the same one as me, but we'll see. But let's see, who do we have in here so far? We got Hacksign KT. He said, first, I beat Wallow J. Hey, Wallow, there's Wallow J right there in the chat. You got somebody to beat you, but now here's the thing. He beat you in the chat, but will he beat you up here on hitting the link is a different story. We got Miss Nisi. We got Brother Man to You. We got Wallow J. We got Joseph Washington, Patricia Jones, Dark Titan, Jay Cage, Anita Harrell. Who else do we have in here? And Asha Sun. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Forgive me if I am not. But like I said, this is just like a non-conventional thing. It's no specific topic that anybody has to like go in on. It's not a topic-based stream. It also gives an opportunity for maybe more people to come up that have never been up here before, who maybe never wanted to talk about a certain topic. But this one just allows you just to go off on whatever. It doesn't even have to be something that goes on and that's going on in the world. It could be something that's going on if you want to, and this is only if you want to. If there's something going on in your personal life, but if you don't want your business out there, then don't do it. And if you do decide to put your business out there, please put subliminals. Don't mention any names. Like, just say, let's just call the person or the people such and such, if y'all get what I mean. And we'll go from there. Because I don't want nobody coming back to here saying, oh, you put my business. Nah, I don't want none of that. And just so you know, if anybody comes here, just know that was the disclaimer. So if they decide to put it out there, they can't say that I told them not to. All right, we already got a couple of people that already hit the link. One hit the link before the intro music was done. And that was Cosimo. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing, man? Happy Saturday to you and everyone in the chat.
Happy Saturday to you. So what do you want to go off on today?
I mean, you pretty much got a grasp of it from what I've been sending you. I I think more of us should be talking about the fact that so many people that are not from the soil have a problem with Kendrick Lamar. I'm dead serious. Not it ain't here to promote his music. It's what he stands for.
Mm-hmm.
And it really bothers me that I see a lot of people from the motherland, mostly, and a lot of Hispanics from the Caribbean having an issue with him because they choose Drake like he's some sort of god, and I'm like, you guys don't listen. Y'all only see things and y'all look at the flash and everything. That's not what the culture started on when it comes to hip hop culture. Don't come in here dictating what it looks like or what it sounds like because you just started listening to rap a few years ago. That's not what it's all about. And we got people who actually do it now. And basically, I get it for clicks and views. I can't be mad at some of them, but there's always, I can't help but say it. It's always I see a Nigerian. I see a dude from down in PR, DR that got that heart shape cut in their hair. I'm like, you guys have no identity on your own. Are you listening to the music, or are you trying to live vicariously through Aubrey?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was actually listening to a stream that Dewan B was doing yesterday, and shout out to him because he's a called I call a music historian. Like he's really he knows his music, especially like Black American music down to the root. And they
Yes.
were on there talking about like they were doing it again. You know, you had the Drake fanboys talking about or trying to compare him to Michael Jackson. I'm like, oh my god. I said, if y'all don't stop comparing, and it doesn't have to necessarily just be Drake. No, let's call him Aubrey. It doesn't have to be necessarily
Yeah.
Aubrey that y'all do it to. Y'all do it every single time, and it's like we get it. You know, we know Michael Jackson is the benchmark. I mean, he is like the foundation in which a lot of all these other artists stand on today, and still are standing on his shoulders today. But he was in a lane of his own. Everybody else let them have their lane. That's why I went off on one of my videos I did a while ago when they were trying to bring up again the comparison of Michael Jackson to The
Harry
Weeknd.
Styles. Oh,
Oh, nah.
I remember that one too. That you did a video for a while ago,
Yeah.
where about Harry Styles. This is anybody. That's the problem. It's like, and I feel it. Maybe I feel crazy saying this, but it's basically Drake's complexion and his adjacentness to whiteness that while a lot of the Africans rock with him. I'm telling you, that's how I feel. Maybe I sound crazy about it.
Maybe.
Maybe, but I mean, other than that, the only other complaint I just wanted to know, yeah, I had to sound out. What is your whole aspect? How do you feel about me feeling this way? I can't be friends with a lot of these, or even agree with a lot of these so-called anti-DEI folks, man. This is my second and final because I heard the rules, and it bugs me that Nico Parker is only a fourth African, and that's too much for them for How to Train Your Dragon. What's your opinion on that?
Well, you know who you're getting when you're dealing with the people that do the whole DEI thing. These are the same people that bastardize the word woke. As a matter of fact, I recorded a video not yesterday. I think the day before yesterday about this woman, and I'm gonna probably upload it not next week, but the week after because I needed to be still in the algorithm. But it
Yeah.
has something to deal with a movie that just came out,
Hmm.
and one of the actresses in the movie, and they were trying to say that this movie is quote unquote offensive to white people.
Oh
If
my
you put it,
God.
if you put it together and you decide to go look it up, you'll see how absolutely ridiculous it is. But I do have a video lined up for it, and the reason why I did it is because it reminded me of a person on YouTube, by the way, and I know you heard of him because I talked about him 2 years ago, who said something similar about another movie.
Ryan Canal.
Yes.
How I know. How I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It's not surprised.
When I heard the woman say it, I immediately thought of that, and that's what prompted me to actually do it. And I said this woman came in with inherent bias already, and everything she was saying was absolutely ridiculous.
Reminds me of that Mally Mouse chick. Oh my God. I wanted to just reach through the damn TikTok. I mean the video she put up on her ex account because she was
Mm-hmm.
sounding off on it. Then you're gonna. I mean, look, none of us here are fans of Cynthia Erivo, but she's playing a green witch. Why you have a problem with that chick being black?
Actually, Cosmo, it had nothing to do with Cynthia Erivo. It had something to do with Ariana Grande.
Oh,
That's what
really?
that's what makes it really wild. When I was looking at it, I was like, wait, what? Because going into it, I'm thinking that's who she was going to talk about. I thought she was going to talk about Cynthia Erivo, but no, it was about Ariana Grande.
What? I know she on Ozempic. It looked like, but why you care about her of all people?
You'll see. You'll see when I talk about it. Unless you
I,
go and look it up yourself. Unless you go and look it up yourself, then you'll see how ridiculous it was. It
oh, let
is.
me guess. She's Ariana has woke views.
No, it's
Oh,
not. It's not. It's not. It's not that. But it's wild. It's a wild
all right.
accusation.
All right. I'm gonna check it out, but I'm gonna let someone come up. Thanks for having me up, man. I'm gonna
No
be in the
problem.
chat.
All right. Shout out to Cosmo for kicking everything off. Next up, we got Wallow J. What's going on?
What's going on, Torian? What's going on in the chat? Only two things that I can sound off on. Number one,
Yes.
Kansas Owens continues to lose out on her grip. I know Miss
And I
Lisa
got a
just
video,
did a live on her.
I got a live coming up soon about that too. And shout out to Lisa. But I definitely got something to say. I got something to say about that.
Yeah, it's yeah. What Australia did was a trickle effect. So now you
Mhm.
got New Zealand doing it. Don't be surprised if the UK do the same thing too.
That's
Even
what I
though
was
her
saying.
husband's from the UK.
That's what I was saying. When I was on X, I was reposted something that she had said, and I said just because you say all the things that you say right here in the States does not mean it's gonna fly everywhere else that you go. You're lucky that you can even say the stuff that you say here and slightly get away with it, but they don't have to let you
Hmm.
in. And also too, it also exposes how silly a lot of her followers are because they up there talking about, oh, it's a violation of the First Amendment. I said, y'all need to read the entirety of that First Amendment and understand why it does not apply with what she's trying to do.
And I think people need to understand that the First Amendment. I mean, you can say what you want, but do you think there's not consequences to the stuff you say? If you don't believe, ask black people. But you don't think black people's, is a part of the First Amendment. So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, that UK ban is coming real soon. I can feel it. I say, yeah, it's gonna come real soon. That's gonna be a big ass story. And the second thing, the continued crash outs of these shields. And did you see that that bill that on his own ex?
Wait, Wally, you kind of breaking up.
Hold on, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you better.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, did you see that okay, did you see that Tariq video that he posted on the tether getting upset with the delineation on his ex?
I didn't get a chance to catch it. What happened with it?
Basically, the woman was crashing out with the Pan-Africanism, and she basically was going off like where we're delineating all this other stuff. It was like where we told y'all was the ones that delineate. Like the Africans are the king of delineation. They got a whole bunch of tribalism going on over there. So y'all shouldn't be mad because we're delineating and we're doing our own thing now because that's what y'all wanted us to do. So now we're doing it. Now you're upset. Go figure. It is what it is. I think 2025 is going to be the first, especially the first 4 months. It's going to be very, very interesting. And I'm gonna land my plane right there, Torian. B1.
B1. Shout out to Wallow J for coming up. All right, next up, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Hurricane Nisi. What's going on?
Good afternoon, Torian and family in the chat.
Good afternoon.
All right. Since November 5th, and I've watched all of the new black media content creators, but I want to give a special shout out to KG, Kid Gravity Beyond, and Black Alpha Network,
Right.
and also Tariq Nasheed. But I tell you, on Black Alpha's live stream last night, you talking about he did a dissertation of the destruction of Kamani. She's gonna see some jail time behind the bullshit she's done. And this ain't the first time she done it. One thing I know, two things you don't do to people, especially black people. And I say this unequivocally about myself. You don't fuck with the money, you don't fuck with the food. Now, am I lying?
You not.
And Kamala, in her delusional state, you snuggled up to WS, and now they're getting ready to make a prime example out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And all I got to say, reciprocity. FBA, we did that shit. You shit it on us, we shit it right back on you. not just on her, but the whole DNC, and they know it. Second point, I really don't have a second point.
Actually, I got more like a suggestion for you,
Okay.
Miss Nisi. I actually found another show you can watch.
Okay.
It's called The Madness on Netflix. I actually just finished it this morning. It was so good.
The Madness. Okay.
And that could be a suggestion for anybody that's in the chat. It's a new show that just came out on the 28th. Well, yeah, on Thanksgiving, called The Madness on Netflix. It's 8 episodes. It's a limited series, so it's only got like that. It's a one-off, but it was really good. It actually talks about. It actually heavily deals with what Black people are going through right now, and especially with the media, white supremacy, and all types of other stuff. I don't want to go too much further into it, but watch that if you haven't seen it already.
I will. I took your last suggestion and got sucked in the cross, so I will check it out.
Okay.
I most definitely will check it out. But as always, you be blessed, my baby. And I'm going back into the chat.
All right. Shout out to Miss Nisi or Hurricane Nisi for coming up. Next up, we got JDW. What's going on?
Yo. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yo. How you doing, Tareen? Salute to the chat. First of all, I would like to apologize for the last time I was in this chat. I said some things about a certain basketball player that I have let's just say I have some vitriol for her, and a lot of people can agree with that. But that being said, she's gonna be irrelevant to come next year because my homegirl Juju Watkins is balling. But that being said, first of all, shout out to you, shout out to all the Black media outlets, and keep pushing the fight. That Pan Africanist chick who's Satella crashing out over X is it's so obvious. He can't combat the arguments of tribalism because, truth be told, these Pan Africanists don't care about tribalism. They talk a good game on social media, but don't practice what they preach. Them tribalistic individuals in Africa, oh yes, they do. They practice what they preach, and they've been doing it for thousands of years, probably more than any other group of people on this planet. If you want to be technical, I would say the age people was very tribalistic, but after what happened in 2020, one, courtesy of Jim Crow Joe Biden and that Asian hate crime bill, yeah. Oh, not even 2021. Peter Leong and Natasha Hollins. So, but let me ask you a question, Toreen. What do you think about the Drake situation?
I'm gonna speak about that at the end because that's actually what that's what I'm gonna go in on. But I want to let everybody else speak first.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna be a little big about the Drake situation. Like, in my perspective, these Drake stands are trying to front like Drake is going up against the machine because he got whooped on. But truth be told, these so-called bloggers, these radio hosts, these so-called undercover Drake fans, they don't give a damn about how these record labels treat their artists, especially in hip hop, because this was going on for at least 25 years, and you have so many artists talking about what makes the Drake situation look like child's play, if you know what I mean. But yet these bloggers, these so-called fans, they ignored it. They pretty much deflected on them based on the personal choices that they made. Okay, that's fair, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't come here now knowing that your man's got whooped on and try to talking about the so-called machine, because this so-called machine is trying to pin Drake on the XXX murder, which is very interesting. But I'm gonna land right there, brother. Take care.
You too. Shout out to JDW for coming up. Excuse me. Next up, we got Joseph. What's going on? All right, Joseph. You got a lot of static going in the background. I don't know what's going on.
Now?
Are you good now?
Yeah, I'm good. When Let me go somewhere else to like remove the static real quick.
Okay, you sound much clearer. You sound much more clear now. Okay.
All right, real quick. My 2 points. I have the radio on, and I'm getting ready to do something with family, so I'll be quick. What? All right. Number one, the media, namely the white media, as far as like these movies, these shows, these games, they need to understand that their slant on how Black people are, as far as society, is not going to work anymore.
You mean as far as like the stereotype?
Yes, there's like the and I forgot the word, the trope of what Black people are as far as the POV of white people is not going to work anymore, because people are like tired of it. As you see with like the election, they would rather have like a full flavor. They would rather take their chances with a full flavor Dub S than diet.
Yeah, I hear you.
And as far as these shows are concerned, it's like if you really want a better reception of like a Black audience, you have to get as close as to the Black grassroots aura as possible.
Yeah, I don't know where they getting their cues from. Like they said, like they're getting it from a lot of these shows. They're getting it from the media, and they're getting a false equivalency of it as well. Like it's like that's not the scope of every single Black person. Is there some people like that out there? Of course they are, but you can say that about any group. But let them tell it. They keep putting it out there. That's why you got Amron Fudo. I'm not calling him by his purchase name, out there crashing out all over X every chance he get, talking about Black people every single second of every single day. That man literally has crashed out all over the place. I mean, that dude has crashed out so much that I could literally do maybe one video a week on him for a different time that he's crashed out. That's how much he keeps us in. I don't know if you saw his most recent. I don't know if you're on X or not, but I'm sure there's some people that's in here. Because I don't follow. Go ahead.
You know what's crazy? I jump in and out of spaces. I don't even engage them anymore because it seems like every 3 to 4 spaces is always a tether crashing out, and it's like, this is getting boring. I'll come back on, when it's a lighter day.
The most recent one that he posted up on X, and the only reason I know about this is because somebody I'm subscribed to actually did like a reaction style video to him, and it was a post that he had made, and it was recent too. It had to be maybe a couple days. It was this week. I do know that it was this week. I don't know if it was before or after Thanksgiving though. He made this long, lengthy post, basically like trying to call Black people out because Black people been calling him out on his BS. And then he gonna say, well, if you want to come fight, and I'm just using in layman terms, like I'm paraphrasing. If you want to come fight me, you can come meet me at this, and this location. I mean, he put down an address and everything, and I'm like, then I'm like, are you that desperate? Are you really? Because then some people pull up on you, and you didn't even do nothing.
I was just going to say that, and I was like, if you're going to do something like that on the internet, prepare for what may come of it, because you got people out there that will follow.
Yeah. Someone will actually.
And I brought that up. Right? They got money for it. And the reason I brought up about, tropes not working anymore is because I saw this article about the Captain America Brave New World talking about doing some touch-ups because of negative reception of like a first couple of screenings. And I wanted to ask, like, where did y'all go for these screenings? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's in front of an all-white audience, it's not gonna be receptive at all.
Of course not, because if that's the case, because there is not an all-white audience when it comes to these superhero films. It's a very mixed audience. Even when it came down to Black Panther, it was a majority Black audience, but of course, when you break down the demographic numbers, Black audiences were the majority purchasing as far as like ticket sales go, but they weren't the only ones. Like it was a mixed crowd between everybody. So to only test it in an audience where it's only a particular demographic there that's very biased. So
Right.
yeah, and the thing is, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I would like to be a fly on the wall in some of these quote unquote test screenings that they do, where some of them say, "Oh, this was bad," because I need to see what was bad. And now here's going to be the kicker. Now that you bring Captain America up, how is the movie going to be received when it comes out in February? Because that's going to really determine if those test screenings were accurate or if they were fallacy.
Right. And with that, let me segue into like my second thing. The gift and curse of being the reliable rank and file.
Mm-hmm.
On one end, it's nice to be that, but at the same time, it could be draining if you're the only one. And don't let your reliability, kind of like be common where it's like you're replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been coming up with that conclusion, like listening, and I need to catch up on some of your videos too. It's just that work has been like, very exhausting, especially with like, people coming in doing inspections.
Yeah, that's why
It's
you say that about catching up with the videos, because that's exactly why I started doing 3 videos a week. As a matter of fact, speaking of that, make sure y'all pay attention to the post that I'm gonna make, the community tab post I'm gonna make tomorrow at 8 a.m. because I want y'all to, when I show y'all this, y'all are gonna understand why I keep telling y'all I'll be backed up. Like y'all about to see my upload calendar, which I've never shown before, and y'all are gonna see I have stuff that starts from December 2nd all the way down to December 30th already locked in. And that's just all the way there. If you keep scrolling up, now you're going into January. What that's telling me and to my audience is that I could go the rest of this month and not record one video. And whatever topic I want to talk about, I could turn it into a live stream. And I'll be good to go at least to maybe about the second week of January. But y'all will see tomorrow what I'm talking about. That's how much I be recording. I do something called what you call batch recording, which is when you just record a whole bunch of stuff at one time. But like I said, that's attributed to a lot of people sending me stuff. And then of course, I have to determine, is this something that I can put up on YouTube, or is this something that goes up on Patreon? And it's actually pretty simple for me to break those up, because I know where the divide is when it comes to talking about the Patreon based stuff versus the stuff that's on here.
Yeah, and I was listening to Jason Black's the business broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of what happened to the turkey leg hut, first off, when I heard that broadcast, I didn't know it went down the way it did.
Okay.
I would like, I wouldn't make it a recommend, but I would suggest if y'all have time, listen to that broadcast. But the guy that was owner of the turkey leg hut, he got back on his feet and made the oyster hut. So he got back on his feet and started another restaurant.
Sounds to me like he probably had that one in the works, because I think the whole controversy with Turkey Leg Hut has been going on for a while. It's not like they just up and they just closed business. Like they were here today and they were gone tomorrow. Like this was something that was in the works. So him having now an oyster hut, that's probably something he had working in the background while the Turkey Leg Hut was literally hanging on for dear life.
Right. Yeah, it's like, I look at like, where I am as far as like, my reputation of being like, an able-bodied worker and just being in the labor force. And I came to the realization of like, you know what? I need to work toward being an irreplaceable asset and not just a reliable rank and file where I could be just dropped off like a dozen. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what most of us should like, pursue to be. Just as a reminder, I think most people already know, they should strive to like, be their best and be the best asset to like the community, especially the Black community, because now with Trump reelected, we're gonna need like, every hand on deck. The great thing about it now is that our adversary count has lessened. since the smoke is going to be flying all over for everyone. At least with Trump now, it's like, okay, we see who is coming at us. We're not getting opposition from all sides.
Right.
Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to share that. I had more, but you said two, so I gotta respect the
exactly.
rules of the room.
Exactly.
Thanks for having me up, and I'll be in the chat.
No problem. Shout out to Joseph for coming up. Hey, what's up, Rob? If you want to come up, you can feel free to go ahead and do so. You can click the link right there at the top if you're available to do so. And to Cosmo's question, yes, Ariana Grande is actually Italian American. She is not Hispanic. A lot of people think that she is, or because of her last name being Grande, but no, she's actually Italian American. And from what I've looked up, she's not Hispanic or Latino on any side of her family, dad or mom. Let me see what else y'all talking about in the chat. Cosmo said Fluke and Fraud went and got the ratchet from the shot when Preach wanted to squabble up. Yeah, and he came down from Canada to a whole different country to Miami to come and deal with him. Oh, we got someone else on here. We got Patricia. What's going on? Patricia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
can
what's
you
going
hear
on?
me?
I can hear you.
Okay, this is my first time, and you have to excuse me. I think I pushed the button. I'm playing around with it. This is my first time. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I got this sound is echo in the background. I can't figure out how to do it. But you can still hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you, but if you want to get rid of the echo, you have to mute the YouTube. Mute the YouTube. Keep the StreamYard open, but if you have the YouTube, as a matter of fact, just close the YouTube tab.
Oh, just close it.
Yeah.
Did I do it?
Yeah, you good. You good now. Can you hear me? Okay, I don't know what happened. I hope Patricia didn't remove her, close the wrong tab or mute the wrong thing, because it's not muted on. She's not muted on this side. All right, Patricia, what I want you to do is I'm gonna drop you down, and then I want you to come back up, because I don't know what you hit because I can't hear you. All right, Patricia, I want you to the link is posted at the top, is pinned at the top. So just click it and then come back in. Oh, Rob says, I wish I could. I had to take a ride real quick, but I'm listening. Okay, cool. Because I always like to hear from the people who come up from the first time. And that's another point of me, like I said, again, having this, because this is like a free-for-all type of thing. It's like a anything type of goes. It's not a specific topic. So this actually makes people a little bit more comfortable speaking on just about whatever it is they feel they need to speak on. But if anybody else would like to come up, the StreamYard link is pinned at the top of the chat. All right, Patricia is back. Okay, you're back. Are you good now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I still hear that echo. So I'm going to say what I have to say, if I may.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. First of all, the first thing I want to say, I'm proud of my FBA family. From delineating from all the coons, the shields, and tether groups. Mm-hmm. Right about now, we all know that they are struggling.
The crash out is real.
They crashing out big time. The thing, my concern is that when we're talking about FBA business, is that we need to stay focused on our grind, on our FBA business.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Another thing is,
and that's the whole, and that's, and I'm going to cut you off, but that's the whole thing I said, because we have to get to the point where we have to start worrying about what's beneficial for us, not to even make it sound selfish, but slightly to make it sound selfish, because that's what every other group does. And honestly, it's about time. It is about time that we have gotten to that point where we cannot carry the weight and water for everybody else, and they're upset at that, and that's okay. They're just going to have to be upset. They'll get over it eventually, and if they don't, that's stress on them. Less stress on us.
another thing I want to say is that their job is to distract us now that all this thing dealing with Kamala is done and over with, this election.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to, while Trump is in office, need to start building. And I know it's easy for me to say that because I'm new to the game, and I'm coming up with ideas to start my business. And I would love to tag on with other FBA, Black-owned businesses, and
Mhm.
we can grow from there. And I believe that's one of the ways of building wealth, if I may say so.
Yes.
And the second, how you say it, the second one I wanted to say is that, that's what it was, just delineate and build wealth among ourselves as individuals, and then join forces together to build from that point. I just look at it as another, how you say, reconstruction, dealing with Tulsa, Oklahoma, how they rebuild and everything on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the time for us, since Trump is in office, to do so and start, while he's getting rid of the illegals, the immigrants, we can go ahead and start building our own wealth for ourselves and join forces together.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. And once, I just want to say this, I love you all, FBA family. I'm so glad to be a part of the family. And we just keep on striving and just ignore the mess that's out there from the tellers. They hitting hard because they don't have anything else to do but to get into our spaces and get into our businesses. And they need to just stay put where they at and build their own. In other words, mind their own business while we mind ours.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for having been patient with me.
No problem. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
Shout out to Patricia for coming up for the first time. Hopefully it won't be the last time, but shout out to her. I see we got some super chats that came in. We Next DSB, shout out to you for the 10. He says, I agree 100. I appreciate it. And we also got Hurricane Nisi that done swept us with this 10. I appreciate that as well. Again, if there's anybody else, I'm going to keep it open for maybe hopefully another like 20 minutes. Because as actually for y'all another 10 minutes, because when the 50-minute mark come, I'm gonna give my sound off. And shout out to Brother Man to you for the 5. I appreciate it. JJ says, I have been subscribed for months and it's only now that I get your notifications. That is why I always suggest the people to join the Discord. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and put my Discord link in the chat right now. Let me go ahead and do that right now. If you are not in the Discord, and I have 82 people in here, and I know all 82 of you are not in this Discord, but if you are in the Discord, please be sure to go ahead and join, because if you don't get the notification on here, you will most definitely get it over there. Oh, Cosmo, I saw this post. I came across this post. And I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, it's nothing wrong with that woman. She looks very attractive for someone who just that just ate a whole bunch of Thanksgiving food. And the response that he decides to give back with it, I'm not going to post the picture on here because it does look kind of explicit, but the response that Amron Foodle gave to it was very shaky. I'm gonna read to y'all what the picture says because I'm not gonna post the picture. So it's this young woman. She looks like a black woman or ethnically ambiguous or mixed with something. I don't know, but she's definitely non-white. I'll put it like that. And she posted up a picture of her 3 images of her laying on her sofa, and she says stuffed and thankful. So that's basically a post Thanksgiving meal picture that she made or posted of herself. And here comes Amron Foodle to come and reply with, what you need to do is stuff your fat ass in a gym. And I'm telling you, if y'all saw the picture of this woman, you will see that she is far from fat. She's actually the ideal shape that most men, especially most black men, would go for. But we know Amron Foodle is not a black man. I wouldn't even call that individual a man. I'll go further and say that this parasite isn't even a human being. And he always manages to find a way to creep himself into conversations involving black people or involving black people. And shout out to KG, because he actually did a stream yesterday where he was talking about how him and Tommy had did some kind of space on X where they were talking about, they saying it was a Klans meeting or Klans. I'm like, you have 2 non-white individuals hosting a space called Klan something. When I tell you the internet gave way too many people a voice that don't need it, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, I see we got some gifted membership shout out. But first off, shout out to Joseph Washington for the 2. I appreciate it. We Next DSB gifted a membership to Jay the Informant. I appreciate it. And I'm sure Jay the Informant appreciates it as well. And he also gave another membership out, and it went to Zavon Scott. And also a third one. I didn't see that one. And it went to Shamika Gray. Rob says, why would you tell a woman to go to the gym when you can burn them calories off of her yourself? Because Rob, she would never give him the light of day. If you saw the picture of this woman, you would be able to look at her and say, oh, she would never go for a man like him. And he said, Myron, the suspect, is AF, the weirdo ass reject. He really is. He really is. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna copy the image and I'm gonna post it in your Discord, Rob, and you'll see for yourself what this fool said. And then you'll be able to see the picture of the woman. So I just posted it in there. You can feel free to check it out yourself. Cosmo said the Arab Gonzo. Jennifer says she's shaped like an adult. Yeah, she's shaped like an adult. I can't really tell based off of the picture how old she is. But if I had to guess, I would say she's probably in her late 20s. If I had to guess. Late 20s, maybe 30. But I wouldn't say older than 30. I'm trying to see based on the picture, because I can't pull it up, who she reminds. You know what? I know who she reminds me of. She reminds me of Melanie Fiona. Melanie Fiona. Who remembers that singer, Melanie Fiona? If y'all remember Melanie Fiona, you remember Melanie Fiona, especially to a lot of the guys in here, maybe even some of the ladies, how attractive and pretty and beautiful that woman is. I wonder whatever happened to her. Oh, Ms. Nisi said, I got to make a comeback. What's going on? Was it something I said about Amron Foodle?
You know what? That damn Rainbow Fruit Loop motherfucker need to just come out the closet and be done with it. I mean, Jesus.
Ms. Nisi said, I had to spin the block for this one.
My God. You know what? He keep effing around. Somebody is going to confront him and beat the brakes clear off of him.
That's what a lot of people have been saying on X every time he says something. But like I said, we know why he does it. He's doing the engagement farming thing. But the thing is, he's not profiting in any way from doing what he's doing. I mean, this is a person who ended his own bag last year, and everything just went downhill from there for him. So all he has left is to be on X all day and to say stuff about Black people, and he's not talking about Black people 95% of the time. He's talking about them folks, which is exactly why he lost everything, because he was talking about them. And then, so what does he do? He goes back to what I call factory settings, and he talks about us. Candace does the same exact thing. The only difference is Candace is still making money. He, on the other hand, is not. making a dime. It's people that can do video after video after video about him and make a whole bunch of money. I put it to y'all like this. My most watched video for the month of November was that last Triple P video that I did on him when he was in his studio with Walter, Tommy, and Dom Lucre, and they was clowning him to his face. That was my most watched video for the month of November. In one day, that video almost got 20,000 views.
Yeah, I was in that live when you did it.
So imagine me making money off of him, and he could do 100 videos talking about me, and he couldn't make one dime. He couldn't make money off of talking about himself.
Well, oh well. I ain't got nothing else to say. Fuck them.
All right.
I'm done. Bye bye. Can't talk. Bye boo.
All right. Shout out to Miss Niecy for spinning the block. And shout out to August Green for the $1.99. He says, yesterday was my birthday. Well, happy belated birthday. Make sure y'all put some happy belated birthdays to August Green in the chat, because they said yesterday was their birthday. Appreciate you for being here. And also shout out to you. And I hope you enjoyed your day. And Rob says, Myron is Johnny Somali's twin brother. Listen, somebody on my community tab a couple days ago asked me, was I going to do a video or a live talking about Johnny Somali? I said, I don't know if I have the strength. If y'all think me doing a video talking about Amron Foodle is something, I would be stressed out talking about the antics of a Johnny Somali. And that's someone I never ever planned on even talking about, and I still really don't. I mean, it would have to be something to compel me to really want to say something about him. But for those of y'all who don't know who Johnny Somali is, he's another YouTuber, pretty well known, but for all the wrong reasons. And he goes from place to place, basically messing with these people in these various other countries, and he stays getting in trouble. But he finally met his match a couple weeks ago when he decided he was going to go over to Japan, I believe, no, Korea. I can't remember if it was North or South Korea, but it was Korea. And he started messing with the people over there. Man, them people put them paws on him. If y'all seen the videos, they put paws, they was putting them hands, feet, everything on him to the point where he had bruises on his face. And the thing about it is, Amron Foodle, he feels safe saying the stuff that he says, but he'll never go outside and say it. Because see, the thing is, with the difference between him and Johnny Somali is Johnny Somali goes outside and says what he says. Of course, there's repercussions and he meets the consequences, as I just stated. Amron is not going to do that. He feels safe indoors, and he knows that. That's why he says all the stuff that he says about us online. Whenever he gets on stream, he never goes outside and actually says it. And it's not like people won't know who he is, because we all have seen his face. It's not like he has never put himself on camera. We all know what he looks like, and he knows that. But anyway, let me go ahead. It's now 12:51. Let me go and sound off on what I got to sound off, and we'll bring it to a close. So Cosma actually talked about it slightly at the beginning. So the two things I'm going to sound off on actually have to coincide with each other. The first thing I have to sound off on is really sound on, but it's a good thing, is Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick freaking Lamar, who I believe is having one of the best years, one of the best 2024s right now as it is. But this album that he just dropped, how many people in the chat have listened to Kendrick Lamar's latest album, GNX, that came out? Put a 1 if you have, put a 2 if you haven't. I listened to it, and let me tell you, that is a good body of work right there. That is the kind of hip hop that I like. That is the hip hop I like. But my favorite track on the album has to be track number 3, titled Luther, featuring SZA, and he sampled "If This World Was Mine" by Luther Vandross. Man, I was actually listening to that song before I got on the stream, before I started this live up. That is my favorite track on the album, titled Luther. If y'all don't listen to the entire album, when this stream is done, go to YouTube, type in Luther Kendrick Lamar or Kendrick Lamar Luther, and listen to that track. I guarantee you, you're probably going to replay it about 10 times. That song is my favorite track on the entire album. It has a hip hop / R&B type of sound to it. Whoever the production behind that song, kudos to you. Now, it's outside of the realm of being nominated, like say for a Grammy, because the Grammys are already locked in. But if they release it as a single, I could see it being nominated next year for the 2026 Grammys. But my goodness, that is a fire song. Wallow J says his favorite song is Dodger Blue. Cosmo said his favorite song is TV Off. Yeah, Cosmo, she's singing on Luther. And they make good collabs together. I find, like, you know how sometimes you can find someone that you can collab with, that their collages are good, and that's why they keep collabing with each other. Him and SZA make very good music together, and they mesh very, very well. The first time I heard them together was All the Stars on the Black Panther soundtrack, which, by the way, in case y'all did not know, Kendrick Lamar was nominated for an Oscar for that song. He didn't win, but he was nominated. Joseph said his favorite songs is Squabble Up and Man in the Garden. And I think Squabble Up, that's track 2, and Man in the Garden is track 4. Jennifer said, I wonder if K-Dot ate black eyed peas or greens for New Year's Eve. I'm trying to eat the same meal. So yeah, that was my first thing. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar for that new album, and he is breaking records. Billboard records is charting like crazy. He, in my opinion, is winning 2024. If it was up to me, and 2024 was to come to an end today, and they asked you who had the best year ever, Kendrick Lamar. Shoot, we got a month left, and I'm still saying that he had the best year ever. Really, like, this man's winning in all aspects of life this year, and he's going to continue to win. Which leads me into sound off number 2, where we talk about a person who caught a huge L this year, and that was none other than Aubrey Graham. I'm calling this man Aubrey. Y'all call him Drake. Like they said in Coming to America, his mama named him Aubrey. I'm gonna call him Aubrey. So with all the success that Kendrick Lamar is having with this new album and just this year overall, and then really going in with Not Like Us, and it becoming like a global, like it became a anthem for us, but then everyone else just kind of latched on to it. It is what it is. You got this fool Aubrey filing lawsuits out here. What? Jennifer said Drake is, yeah, I know Drake is his middle name, but I'm calling him Aubrey because Aubrey's his first name. When I first saw him on Degrassi back in the day, I didn't know him as no Drake. I knew him as Aubrey, but then after he got popped in that episode, I called him Wheelchair Jimmy. But you got Aubrey out here going and activating his Karenness, going straight into Karen mode and filing lawsuits, talking about. The first one was with the streams. He was going after UMG, if your Universal Music Group. That's his label. Okay. Aubrey was suing his label behind this thing of, oh, they're inflating the stream numbers for Not Like Us. No, that's people out there who actually genuinely liked the song. And hold on, y'all. But you had people literally playing this song over and over again. Like, these were solid numbers. And I think one of the best parts about it is that Kendrick reached out to the label and says, remove the copyright filter so people can react to the song and make money off of it. I talked about this months ago. I thought that was the dopest thing. That means if you reacted to Not Like Us on your YouTube channel and it got a whole lot of views, that means you came up in the month of May. You made a good amount of money. in the month of May off of that one reaction, and your subscribers probably climbed at the same time. And also, people reacted to his album. Every person I've seen for the most part that reacted to his album had got thousands of views within the day of them uploading the content, whether they talked about it, did it on Twitch, whether they did it on YouTube. Kendrick was like, if I win, I'm going to make sure y'all eat. But back to Aubrey. You suing your label after they just, mind you, y'all, his label just gave him a $500 million contract. Let me repeat that. His label just gave him a $500 million contract. And then you sue them because allegedly you helped to boost the numbers with the streams, basically doing a digital payola for Not Like Us, because apparently the numbers could not be organic. No, Aubrey, it's because you lost the rap battle. You lost the beat. That's just, it is what it is. Never in my life have I ever seen anything like that. And I think I speak for everybody in the chat when I say y'all never seen it either. Until now. Until now. Then he came back like a day or two later and filed another lawsuit for defamation. And I'm like, what is going on here? I said, I think I know what it is. I think that he's trying to prevent it, have it be preventable where Kendrick cannot perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. Again, he's winning more because, as y'all know, Kendrick Lamar is the headliner for next year's Super Bowl. And I'm sure it's going to have a lot of views. A lot of people are going to be tuning in. They're going to be singing. People, everybody around the nation, around the world who's watching, going to be out there singing Not Like Us the minute that it comes on. I wonder how many times he's going to perform it. Because I remember when he had the pop out back in June, that man performed Not Like Us like 5 times. And it got louder and louder and louder each and every time that he performed it. Exactly, Cosmo. You said sorry, but the defamation has no basis with me because you call Kendrick a domestic abuser first. Exactly. And also going back to Aubrey with these lawsuits, you are suing UMG for something that you or people who worked with you most likely did with you as far as boosting numbers. Come on now, let's be real with ourselves here. Aubrey, are you going to sit here and tell us that all of your numbers, all of your streaming numbers are organic? Is that what you're prepared to tell us? Because I'm not prepared to believe it. Well, the best thing Aubrey could have did was to just bow out gracefully and just say, you know what? The better man won, but he couldn't do that. So what do? You take out some lawsuits, and 2 of them in the same week. One against your label and one against Spotify. I hope he never, ever, ever lives this down. And I hope that the general public who has some sanity never allows him to live it down either. Now, as far as his fan base, those Aubrey stands, that's like talking to a brick wall lined behind or lined in front of a wall of steel. Good luck trying to break them down, because they're not. It's most likely not going to happen. Many of them out here still saying that he won. I'm like, okay, let's hypothetically say that he did, which we know he didn't. Does that negate the fact that this man's filed 2 lawsuits? And I noticed that none of them are really talking about him. I didn't even take my time out to go out and see if any of those so-called fans went and tried to what they have to say about it, because I really don't care. I know it's going to be a bunch of BS. I know it's going to be a bunch of nonsense. The fact of the matter is that he filed 2 lawsuits and one against your own label. Are you serious? Now, if your label decides to drop you, then what? But it is what it is. Chris said, I don't think Drake is going to take it all the way. In a couple of months, I believe that the suits will get dropped. It's not the thing of him taking it all the way. It's the fact that he even did it in the first place. It's the fact that he even did it. It's not the fact of, oh, he's going to drop it because I don't expect him to win it. It's the fact that he even took out those lawsuits in the first place. That's the major issue. Why did you do that? Okay, thanks for coming through, Glory. We're about to actually end the stream in a couple minutes because this was the last thing I had to say. But yeah, Aubrey's a sore loser. Now, if the world didn't know it before, they know it now. And even his fan base that has nothing but great things to say about him, they know it too. Despite how many of them are trying to cape for this man. This is a grown man acting that childish. This is the equivalent of, I'm going to take my ball home. I'm taking my ball and I'm running and I'm going home. I don't want to play with you anymore. Again, never ever in rap history, in hip hop history, during a rap beef or a battle, has anyone lost the battle and then said, I'm going to go file a lawsuit. What? But Drake just basically showed his slip underneath his skirt. It is what it is. But anyway, y'all, that is going to bring this Sound Off Saturday to a close. The first one in the books. We will reconvene and do this again at the end of December, which will most likely be just the end of the year stream anyway, which means it's probably going to happen in the evening rather than in the middle of the day. That way it'll be more people here. But it actually was a pretty decent amount of crowd for it to be the middle of the day on a Saturday. But shout out to each and every person that came through. Shout out to all the contributions, everyone who came and spoke. Shout out to Patricia in particular, because this is the first time ever coming up to speak. Hopefully there will be more and more people to come through the next time that we do it again, which will be on the last Saturday of December. And with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Stay warm because it is freezing where I'm at today. I don't know how it is where y'all are at, but it is freezing where I'm at. But y'all enjoy the rest of your day. No, of course, it'll be no lives or any videos tomorrow. We'll reconvene with that on Monday. But make sure to look out for the community tab that I do post tomorrow. Join the Discord if you haven't done so already. Be safe and be one.